we need to trust our people doing the work for us, make sure they're doing the right stuff. So we have some people which we trust we can deliver training as well. We go to a training program with them, and it's not a standard trainer program, but we have some ideas about how it runs, and it also need to be people which we know and we can trust that they can deliver.
Very true. Again, just going back to that trust.
It's all going back to trust, and I think when you trust people, when you trust partners, that's basically the way to grow.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Business of Learning podcast. My guest here today is Remco, who is the VP of International Programs at Genesee Academy. Remco, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. My name is Remco Broekmans. I'll pronounce my last name myself because it's easier. I'm from the Netherlands. That's why I think my last name is not the easiest one for everybody to do. And happy to go on the podcast over here to discuss whatever we want to discuss.
Yeah, 100%. So tell everyone a little bit more about Genesee Academy, what you guys are all about, who you help, and anything you'd like to share on the context for the company.
Well, we at Genesee Academy, we are basically a training company. We have two big trainings. One is data vault certification, which is we're doing that one since 2006. We are live since 2006. Certification 2009. We do it worldwide. We are based out of Genesee, Colorado, but basically we are working worldwide, all around the globe. Certified around 2,800 people so far in all the years we exist. It's not an easy certification, but it's cool. It's all about data modeling, right? It's a data vault is a data modeling pattern. So that's one thing we do. The other thing is all about getting people to understand how to work with business people. So IT people work with business people to come to let's say a logical data model. And that's a new certification. We're now doing that for a couple of years. I think we have just over 100 people certified over there. So that basically are two basic trainings we're doing. And for the rest, we do reviews of data models. We are doing workshop with business people. So we won't be bored. And we do it. And we do it for companies worldwide, mainly in the fintech, banking, insurance, government. But we also do healthcare,
Awesome.
so basically all
Yeah,
industries.
that's awesome. And obviously, we had a brief discussion before we started the recording, and obviously another day as well. But tell everyone a little bit more because I found it very interesting that you guys have somewhat of a hybrid model in a way where you can actually go to the locations or not. So I'd love for you to explain to everyone a little bit more how that relationship works with the companies you work with, and what are some of the, I guess, yeah, maybe I'll leave it at that. How does that usually work? Yeah.
Cool. Well, of course, we before COVID, we said our training, the way it's set up, we are using a lot of active exercises. We work on whiteboards with a lot of post-it. That's how what we're using. We said, you can never ever do that online. And of course, COVID hit, and then we need to do it online. So since then, we are basically doing both. Now we have an offering of a full online course, which is 3 days. Online course exam is separate, so we have an
Okay.
online exam as well. It's a separate exam, or an in-person one where either we go to a company for an in-company
Yeah.
in-person class, or we are having a venue ourselves. Right, we're renting out a room, and we do it over there and invite people to join us. Uh, with all our training, we also found out that you want people to be kind of prepared into a training what you do. So we have a whole bunch of video lessons,
Mm.
so which people get 2 weeks in advance to be able to already get some knowledge. So they don't start from scratch when they're in the classroom, but they are just a little bit above scratch. And it's
Mhm.
basically, I think we have now about 40 lessons, video lessons, which are all around 3-4 minutes length.
Awesome.
So
And
yeah.
good stuff. And when you're working with a lot of these companies, specifically for the 3 day online uh, online process that you guys have, is there a specific department that you're working with in those companies? Is it the entire company? I would love to learn a little bit more about that as well, because
we
oftentimes I know so many organizations are like, we're too busy, we can't do all this stuff. So how does that usually come about for you guys?
I think if you're looking at it, we are mainly having the IT department as our main. The people come from IT department are the main people coming into our classroom for
Mhm,
sure. If there's the company class asked for, is mainly IT, which is requesting that one.
mhm,
Unfortunately, our way of modeling is not just basically on IT. It's just a small portion because we are not using tools or whatever, right? We are just using post-its and whiteboards and writing and your own sane mind. And we are the other training is more uh, for business analysts, information analysts, but basically also for the real business people.
mhm,
And it can be any department. But from where we're starting from as a company, IT is still IT departments or IT based,
mhm.
or CFOs, CTOs are basically are people which are contacting us.
Awesome. Tell
So,
tell
yep.
tell everyone, you mentioned, based on where we started, tell everyone a little bit about the story of how this thing came about and how Genesee became a company.
uh, well, basically, around 2000, there were a couple of guys. I was not part of the company by then, but they had a kind of an interesting data modeling pattern, which is called Data Vault. And they were focusing on, well, writing papers, telling people about what it is, and creating a tool out of it and some other stuff. And then around 2006, they started a training company because if you want people to use your pattern, you need to start with training. So they start with small training stuff. And my business partner, Hans Hultkun, he's actually was a professor at DU, Denver University. So he had the whole background of how to learn and to let other people learn their information. He had a background, so he set up the training
Yeah.
part, certification. So from there, we start. The company is founded and started, and actually I was involved around. Well, we founded in 2006. I was involved in 2006, 2007 already.
Mhm,
As a partner of Genesee Academy, we go work with a lot of partners worldwide, but as a partner in the Netherlands to sell the training.
mm,
And that's basically how we kind of started. And from there, we found out that training is interesting. We love training. We love what we do. We love talk about what we're doing and why it's
mhm,
good. So basically, that's the way to go for us.
uh-huh. And is there, other than that, thank you for sharing that. I always like to, for someone who has obviously been, through the journey for a long, long time, um, or with a company for a long time. Was there a specific moment, disregarding COVID? So let's not include COVID in this specific situation here. But was there a specific moment as you guys were building, and growing the company in the beginning stages where you're like, oh snap, we really gotta sort of stuff out here. Here's we where we have to make sure that either we fix something or that we improve something or that we scale something. Is there a pivotal moment where you really just figured out you had to sort your stuff together?
There has been a moment where the original two partners kind of split off. So my business partner Hans Hultgren, he's the sole owner of Genesee Academy now.
Hmm.
So that was definitely a moment where there was on the edge. Okay, what are we going to do? And then we found out, okay, we are going to full blown on certification. So that was definitely a moment. But we are always right. We think we are not static in what we're doing.
Mm.
So we every year our material is updated. So it's not that
Mm.
you are still teaching material from 5, 6, 7 years ago. Every year we have a new update. We are looking
Innovating.
through the slides, some minor, some bigger. We found out that we are just basically it's me and my business partner Hans, which are running the whole company, but we have a whole bunch of experienced people with us, not part of the company, but they are tied to us. And we now have every year, and we do it now for 10 years, I guess, now, something like that. We are coming together as a group, and it's basically somewhere around 15 to 20 people coming over and over again. And we are talking about our modeling and to say, hey, what do we need to include in the material? Is this working? Yes or no? Are
Mhm.
we going to a different direction? So we have, let's say, a board which is helping us to evolve. And I think that's very important. That is not just our idea, but it's more like a group effort. And we are happy to
Yep.
be the two people running the company and
Awesome.
setting up the material. I think that basically does make what we're doing.
Mhm. Very, very cool. Thank you for sharing that. And
Yeah.
with you guys being a global company, there are often so many opportunities and so much opportunity out there for companies that are able to work at a global scale. But on the other side, there's also many challenges that come along with that. What are some of those challenges that you guys face in being a global company and being able to quote unquote help everybody all over the world?
Well, one of it, of course, is the hard part of getting your agenda straightened out, right? So,
Sure.
hey, we want you to come over next week in Australia. Yeah, that's not going to work. That's too fast. So, I'm based in Netherlands. Hans is based in Colorado, US. So basically, that's where we also can respond very, very quickly if we do it in person.
Hmm.
But we do have that's challenge, right? To get your schedule going. We
Uh-huh.
also have a challenge because we do worldwide, different time zones.
Mm,
For instance, Australia and New Zealand, right? For me, they are 100% the other direction. They are 10, 12 hours away from me.
yeah.
I cannot run campaigns and the intensive marketing on their time zone and get on calls all over again. And so we are trusting our partners. We are finding local partners and we renewing them every now and then and push them to bring us students in. And our partners are consultancy companies, IT companies, which are helping out. We do have a very nice LinkedIn network, which is helping out as well. We do the best we can on marketing, but we do need to have trusting partners for helping us
Yeah.
out selling the training.
Yeah.
And hopefully it works.
100%, and I think trust is always such a big factor. So I would just wanted to highlight that you brought that up as well. Just trust is how do you build that with the right people to be able to obviously keep growing. But it sounds like a lot of the things that you mentioned there were a little bit more on the operational side of things. How about on the if you're looking at it from a growth lens? What are some of the challenges that come when trying to expand and keep growing the business?
Uh, well, I think from the growth perspective, we saw our ups and downs, right? But we do have also, apart from trusted partners helping out for marketing, right? To grow to more steady on training. We also have a bunch of trainers we can hire to help us, right? When there's more growth coming, when there's more demand, it's not just the small group we're having, but we can extend, especially for instance in Germany, right? Germany really wants to have a German-speaking trainer.
Mm,
I speak a little bit German, but I'm not doing a German training in Germany in German.
yeah.
It's for me, it's English all the way. I also
Hmm.
speak some French, but not enough for the training. So if we need to do a training in France, either I need to be sure that I
Hmm.
get my French, or we find a trainer which is capable. We also again we need to trust our people doing the work for us.
Hmm.
Make sure they're doing the right stuff.
Hmm.
So
Very,
we
very.
we have some people which we trust we can deliver training as well. We go to a training program with them, and it's not a standard trainer program, but we have some ideas about how it runs, and it also need to be people which we know and we can trust that they can deliver.
Very true. Just, again, just going back to that trust is I think
It's all going back to trust, and I think when you trust people, when you trust partners, that's basically the way to grow.
yeah, 1000%. And for a lot of the opportunities that come to the doorstep, are they usually coming from these partners, word of mouth referrals? Is that usually how people or companies find out about you?
I think there's a good mixture. There are some coming through partners. There are some word of mouth. They know me, or they know Hans, or they know Genesee Academy and just reach
Mhm.
out on the forum. Or we have a whole. Well, I said right. We have close to 3,000 people being certified already worldwide.
Yeah.
They work with companies, and some as a contractor, some as a consultant, some in a company. But when they move to another job or another contract, they will mention, "Hey, we have something. We want to apply this pattern. Let's get
Mm,
people trained." And sometimes it's within a couple of months, but it also can take 3, 4, 5 years. I recently did a job in Denmark, and that was one of the people I trained, but it was 7 years ago. So it took almost 6 years before they came to me to say, "Ooh, Remco, can you do some work for us?"
of
So
quite
yeah,
a long sales cycle. Yeah.
it's yeah, but then again, and this is also, I think, we are very happy because people remember what we do even over a long period of time, and
Yeah. Of
feel
course.
it's valuable and understand it is
Hmm.
what it can deliver, and basically, then people come back to you,
Yeah. One hundred
and and
percent.
and and we don't try to sell something or to tell something we cannot deliver.
Mm,
Also, we always say after the training to all our students, hey, if there's anything you want to discuss after the training while you're back in your work, right, in your
mm,
situation, ooh, what is this? Just ping us. We are happy to
mm.
go on a call for half an hour, or get some mail going to say, okay, let's discuss this one. Because for us,
Yeah.
it's not finished when you did the training, right? It's not,
Yeah.
oh, by the way, you did the training. Thank you. Bye. Go.
Yeah. Good. Best of luck.
It's not how it works, because that's not the kind of training we are doing. We are not a, let's say, I can say that right, a Microsoft or AWS certification, right? Which are the big ones. Everybody needs to know the tool, whatever. Basically, those trainings are okay. You did your job, you did the certification, you tick all the right boxes, you got your certificate, good to go. We do. Well, if you come back, fine. If you're not
Yeah.
coming back, also fine.
Yeah. Hmm.
For
Just
us, an exam, right? People do an exam. Exam is, I have a couple of on my desk laying around because I need to grade them. It's not just tick the boxes. It's also people. Well, we do data modeling. People need to create a model, so I need to look at the model, understand what they did,
mm,
and also that gives people, uh, at least what we heard, the feeling that we are really listening to them and listening to to their ideas.
mhm.
So, and that
I
helps.
like.
And that's the I think that's the only way. It's a slow growth, but it's a
Yeah.
growth.
Yeah, but again, it just there's such a strong foundation that gets built with that, that people will come back because they are happy with the results that they have gotten and the experience that they had with you, right?
Yeah.
So it just it creates that long-term foundation as opposed to the best of luck, see you never again, right? As you're speaking. Yeah. So yeah, I really, really like that. And I have a couple other questions here for you, Renko. One is a question that I've been asking everybody. So we'll start with that one. And here it is. It's a let's say you had a amazing magic wand, and you could just wave this amazing magic wand, and it can solve just one thing in the business that would make hitting your growth goals, your achievements that you want to achieve, the growth of the company, whatever it may be, it would make hitting those goals much easier. What's the one challenge or problem or obstacle that you like solve in the business?
I think the one problem I want to solve in the business is if we are going to schedule our yearly training, that we know the all run.
Hmm.
So basically, that we are having every training we are scheduling, and we will probably do a heavier scheduling at that one as well, to say, you know what, this is our plan for the year, and we know they're all run, so we can also make our schedule and jump from one place to the other place easy enough, and they're all run.
Interesting. And do you mean by that in a way where the so you can have all the conversations with prospects and clients to have that set up, or do you mean just the layer part of it, which is having it set up?
Having it set up, because that's basically it. And also, right, there are two sides. We would love to have everything what we know up front we are going to schedule it is going to run. At
Mm,
the same token, because we know it's not true, so we schedule some trains where we go, yeah, not sure, probably not going to run. It also gives the opportunity to, if someone jumps in, "Ooh, I want an in-company training. Do you
mhm.
have room for it?"
Oh, because everything is already in place. Interesting. And how do
We are pretty flexible on a whole bunch
uh,
of stuff at the moment. So, yeah, that's basically how it is.
and if opportunities come around where they're like, hey, someone is interested in obviously in having some training, but they're like, hey, let's do it online. Obviously, that still has to fit within the schedule, but it makes it a lot easier for you guys, I'm assuming, to not have to deal with the logistics and everything else. Does that um is that process also just as long as you mentioned as the other ones where it can take a few months to have everything sorted, or is that much easier and faster for you just
All
to
all
implement that?
Online is way easier.
Mm,
If people tell me, it's now Tuesday, right? Oh, we want to start an online training on Monday. I have to look at my calendar, but I can just set it up without a problem.
Oh, interesting.
No,
So it becomes,
normally it takes a little bit longer than that, of course, because you have
of course, yeah.
even online you have logistics because we need to have a contract, we need to have some
Yes.
the video. But basically, what we can say, and it happened by the way that people say, "Oh, can you do a training next week?"
Mhm.
Oh, we can do a
Interesting.
training next week, but that basically will be an online training.
Uh-huh. And it does the this is just my curiosity now jumping out with it even more, but does the sales cycle length actually also change depending on if you're doing online or an in-person, training for a company?
No, not so much. I
Not
don't
so
think the
much?
sales cycle. No, I don't think so. No, no, no.
Mm.
It's
It
basically the same kind of stuff. The only thing is that why organizations do want to have online training, and it's very simple. If they are having teams in different countries,
Oh, okay.
right? So there are people we are training some company, and there are some people come from India, from Portugal, from the Netherlands, from Poland. Online is easier for them
Like,
to manage.
awesome.
So
That
then
makes
we
a lot of
do an
sense.
online training for sure.
Yeah.
If it's all into one location, it depending on what the customer wants. We're happy to go again in the Netherlands. I can travel pretty easy in Belgium as well
Yeah.
without a problem. But if it's going to be further away, we have to have a little bit more logistic. But also
Sure.
we can do that one.
Awesome. Makes sense, makes sense. Thanks for answering that. And the final question that I have here for you, Remco, it's actually not a question from me. It's a question from our last guest to you, and they had no idea who you are. So, are you ready for the question?
I'm ready.
All right, here's the question. What was the pivot point in your life when you decided to pursue entrepreneurship and growth?
Oof, I think the pivot point was in 2013 when I was still working for a consulting company and I was unhappy with my current part. I was talking to someone I know, and she basically asked me, "Do you want to start a training company?" And she asked me at the right moment in time. So that was my pivot point. I was driving from my home to the office, and then I got the discussion in the car, and that basically made my decision. Okay, let's start on my own, and
Wow.
basically, well, now start with Genesee Academy together. So we are now running the company together. So
Mm,
basically, that was my turning point.
wow, just from one conversation at the right time.
For one conversation at the right time. There, there,
Wow.
there have been multiple pivot points in my life, by the way. Anyway, because I come a long way from being a lab technician to an environmental engineer. I did all different kind of jobs anyway. But yeah, basically, it is just hearing a conversation or getting the question asked on the right time.
Awesome. Very, very cool. Remco, thank you so much for your time. This is such a great conversation.
Yep.
Where should people go if they want to learn a little bit more about you or maybe a little bit more about Genesee Academy?
There are two things. You can connect on LinkedIn. Just use my name, Remco Broekmans, and you can connect me, or geneseeacademy.com. That's also a good thing. If you type in my name on Amazon, just a small promo. I just wrote a book, just out. So if you go on Amazon.com, type my name, you get the book. It's kind of giving an idea about what we are doing as well. So yeah,
Amazing.
uh,
Amazing. I'll leave everything down here below, including the book as well, if you want to check it out. So thank you
perfect.
so much for your time, Remco. Yeah,
You're
I
welcome.
really appreciate it. Thank you.